All right, guys. So I'm gonna start here, first of all, with going into SEMrush. And you can see I already have Winter Haven IT services pulled up, but I'm gonna show you guys how you can search up like Lakeland IT services. So you can see here that the keyword difficulty for this word is very low. It's only 7% difficult, so it says very easy. There's actually no the keyword variations for this actually don't even ever come up as or Winter Haven IT services. So that's how you know it's extra easy. But I'll show you guys how you would search up Lakeland IT services right here. And then you're going to switch this to Lakeland. Go ahead and search. And you can see that this keyword would be a little bit more difficult, but still, if you would go to this little toggle over this, you would see that it's still easy and very easy. So that is how you know that it's a very good keyword to go after and that you're going to have a pretty good chance of ranking with that. So now I will go into
And real quick,
the
if you don't,
landing page. Wait, no,
sorry,
what? Sorry. Go
sorry,
ahead.
Maddie, real quick, if you don't pay for SEMrush, which most people don't, you can use the free Google Keyword Planner, and you can type in different types of keywords, such as, you know, IT services Los Angeles or whatever, and it'll give you pretty much the same data. This just provides a little bit more, but Google Keyword Planner is totally free, and it can help you identify different keywords to go after too, such as if IT services in Los Angeles is too competitive, well, maybe we go for, you know, legal IT support in Los Angeles. And yeah, the volume is going to be way lower, but we might find that that's a much easier keyword to go after. So that's SEO in a nutshell. I mean, there's obviously backlinks and technical SEO and all that stuff that comes into it, but the more content you create, the more likely that stuff kind of happens organically without someone doing so much outreach. All right, sorry, Maddie.
No, I think that was really great to add in there. All right. So here is our template. So I have actually, when I originally was building out these location pages, I saved the layout completely. So it's a million times easier to go in and edit them when you want to target another area, instead of having to build it out organically each time. So I'll just kind of like go through the process of how I would do this. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a Lakeland IT services location page. So first I would just switch this out with Lakeland. And I would want to switch this back image out because this is Winter Haven. So, and depending on what builder you have, this is Divi Builder. This will be different depending on what, but
The vast majority of them are like Divi or Elementor or Brizzy. Like most likely that's what your website's built on.
yeah, and they're all pretty similar with the same like widgets and buttons. They're pretty easy to figure out. So we're going to switch this out. It's a nice photo of Lakeland. You can see that switches out really nicely there. And so now we have this body text, and it's obviously targeted for Winter Haven. So now I like to go in and utilize ChatGPT to kind of rephrase this text and target the area of the location page. So I'll show you guys how I do that and kind of like what prompts I use. So I already have these copied. So I would use a prompt, something to the effect of, please rephrase the following text and make sure to target the text for Lakeland, Florida, while also using the keyword phrase Lakeland IT services. So then I will go back. Sorry, I keep minimizing the screen, but it's because the Zoom bar is like completely covering all my tabs.
I know the feeling. Yeah, that's happened to me too.
So then I'm just going to go in here and copy and paste. Copy this text. All right. And I'll usually just put those in quotations, the text that I'm referring to. And the prompts can really be um, you don't there's not like one specific prompt that works. You can pretty much choose anything and play around with it and see how it responds to different prompts. So it'll come up with some text. And when I'm actually building out these pages, I really like to take the time to kind of read through the text, make sure it doesn't sound too artificial intelligence-y while also making sure that it's like making sense and it will target to Lakeland, say some things that make you know it's Lakeland, like the popular Lakeland Farmers Market. So that's good. And I'm not going to read through and edit and do all that right now, but I'll kind of show you how I would edit this into the page. So I would just go in here and literally just copy and paste that in there. It's that simple. And then I would want to go in here and switch out for another Lakeland page. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, you can just make the point that that should be switched out.
So yeah, you
Unless
would
you
just
want to
go through
switch it. I
that.
mean, it's up to you.
And it's okay. And then I would just scroll down and I choose I'll take for Winter Haven IT services. You would switch that out to Lakeland. And then you could again copy and paste this text in here, have them target it for Lakeland, Florida, and depending on what it spits out, edit it to put in there. And then we have these three little sections of areas that we excel in. So you would want to make sure that for each page that you build that you would have different text for the pages, even on this part, since this part isn't really targeted. This one kind of has some targeted text in there. But if you had trouble coming up with different tags, I would just, again, another prompt that I would use for this would be, I would just say like, please create different variations of the following phrase. And it would just spit out a list of different ones. And then I would do the same process for this area of text, depending on if you do want to target it or use that keyword again would depend on the prompt that you would use if you would ask for it to be targeted or for that keyword. If not, I would just say rephrase the following text and it would give me rephrase text. And it's really that simple. And then you would just save the draft. And when that's saved, make sure everything's how you like it, and then you would publish it. Does anyone have any questions or want me to go over anything in more detail?
I would say two things I want to add here, real quick. Two things to show Google it's important. One is, Maddie, what's the importance of the um, putting that text Lakeland IT services where it's at?
Because that is going to be like your H1 tag, and Google is going to identify that that is the more important text, I guess you could say, and it's going to link those two keywords together.
And
And
how do you tell Google that's the H1 tag? Is it within Divi or is it just because it's the top one?
so for not for Divi, but if we were to use our default editor, we would have a plugin called Rank Math, and you can actually put that keyword into Rank Math. I'm not sure for Divi exactly how that works, but I would say it would just identify it since we were ranking so high for instance, the Winter Haven IT services page. But I would not know the actual
Okay.
logistics of how I would know that in detail
But
within
yeah,
Divi.
yeah, and there's a free plugin everyone called Rank Math, and it'll tell you what your H1. Yeah, okay, it's the H1 text size. So Jamie made a great point there. I guess it being up top and the largest will signal it being the H1, and then Rank Math. That's the plugin we recommend. It's free. It's
It's
great for
awesome.
SEO, and it'll let you know for sure like where your H1, where your H2 is. The other big thing, and this is I found this out. It's funny because I didn't read anything about this online, but someone was ranking for Lakeland IT and it was a new place. And I'm like, man, I've been trying to, like we're ranked number one in Lakeland, but all of a sudden this random site started ranking for Lakeland too. I was like, what the hell just happened? Well, when I went in to their website, actually, Maddie, can you type in Lakeland IT Services in Google real quick and I'll just show that
Yes.
company?
I can actually show you how to look at that in your Divi.
Nice. Thanks, Jamie. Um, so Maddie, if you could get with Jamie afterwards, she can help you with that. But also, I can't, could you maybe minimize it a little bit?
Yeah. I think I
Okay,
know who you're
cool.
talking about. Is it
This
them?
one right
Okay.
here. So if we click on this one, this was some random company I'd never even heard of. They're not in Lakeland. I was like, how did they rank so fast? And here's the cheat code that we found is up in the top where we say areas we serve. Right there. Yeah. Areas we serve there. They actually included areas we serve with each individual location pages on here. I'd never seen that before. Somebody figured that shit out over there and it was super smart. Most people, they build location pages, they do wonderful optimization for the keywords, but then it just lives on the site because they don't really want it in the tabs. It's kind of distracting, blah, blah, blah. That's irrelevant for us. We need people
That was a game
landing.
changer for us.
Dude, this was like when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. And like we did that. And sure enough, Google's like, yeah, H1 plus it's in your tab. We're going to prioritize that over all these other pages. So this random ass company is now ranking in Lakeland that gets 30 search a month for the term Lakeland IT services. That may not sound like a lot, but that's 30 prospects. Maybe not 30, but let's say 20 prospects. So that's amazing. So that's 20 potential people that we can get reach out to us. So they did a good job. We stole that.
We actually
Glad,
tripled ours, but
dude.
whenever I started doing that,
Great, great. Um, so anyway, that's just a little nugget that as us as MSP camp members, let's maybe like not tell everybody. Because I feel like that's like the little bit of edge, just like Google my business was my edge like 7 years ago before everyone was doing Google My Business. Like I got a ton of inbound leads from that Google My Business. Now it's a lot more saturated. You got to get a ton of reviews. You really got to fill it out for that to provide as much value as it did back then. I feel like that's this now. And there's going to be a new thing and we'll always look out for the new thing. But yes, so those are two nuances. Make sure your H1 tag has the keyword you're going after and then make sure it's in the areas we serve. Now, what I'm probably going to do next for all tech, we have the areas we serve, big drop down of cities. Yeah, it's a little distracting from the user interface, but it doesn't matter that much. We're trying to get them on the page. We got a bunch of remarketing ads too, so when they leave, we're staying in front of them. But Tampa is a really difficult one to rank for. So even though we have Tampa in our areas we serve, we're still on like the third page for Tampa, but that gets like 100, 200 searches a month. So I'm probably going to take the biggest city around me. And instead of searching for IT services in Tampa, we're going to start doing the who we serve. And the who we serve, those pages, even though it's going to say lawyer, healthcare, accountants, blah, 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 in the thumbnail, the who we serve, when they land on the page, it's going to say legal IT services or whatever we find to be the most search keyword for those verticals in Tampa. Now, that might dissuade people a little bit that are not in Tampa seeing that page, but then they can go to the areas we serve and say, oh no, okay, they do serve my area. For some reason, this just says Tampa. They don't understand. They don't. Most people aren't going to care. That's going to get us in Tampa, and that's where we can really go hard with not only location pages but industry pages. So I know that was a lot, especially when we talk about the Search Console and now the location pages, but all of this is recording. I'm going to split it into two videos. That way, if you have a marketing person that you want to watch it, or if you're the marketing person, you want to go back, both of these will be on there in two separate sections. So it's not like, shit, I got to watch a 40-minute video. It's just like 15 and 15, hopefully. So I know we covered a lot. Any questions on either of those things before we kind of open it up for general discussion?